How do you do that?
You know what, we've got some pretty easy guidelines as well. It's called the Constitution, the U.S. Constitution, the state Constitution. Let's do what it says in the Constitution.
Yes.
Everything else is extra. Everything else is just on top of that. And until, let's start there, and then if we have extra money after we've funded the things that the Constitution directs us to do, whether it's as a state or a nation, then we can decide together what makes sense to spend money on beyond that. But that's what I'd like to see happen. The other thing I proposed is there's this cloud over state government because of Blagojevich. I think we should just go back to 2002 budgeting, and then we can even go back to George Ryan, which I'd be for as well. But let's go back and start there.
And eliminate all the things that have been created.
Eliminate everything since then.
Perfect.
Eliminate everything since then, and make them come back and justify, re-justify that, because everything I think is tainted.
Yeah.
Who knows who was getting kickbacks, who was getting special deals? I think there's way more than we know about.
Forensic audit.
Say again?
Forensic audit.
Yeah. I like it. Yes.
I'm hoping for a trifecta here between Brady, you for Congress, and Mark Kirk, although, he claims to be fiscally conservative, but socially, he's a flip-flop. But he's the only game in town running for Senate, right? So if we are lucky enough, do you have any plans with those other two politicians to appear together, to do tea parties? Do you have a good working relationship with both of them? Or what's up with that?
Yeah,
Because
that's a great
we
question.
can run this clean slate here if we're lucky.
I agree with you. A couple things. I have worked with Alexei Janulius, and he is a disaster. I mean, he really is. That bank, we're just starting to find out so much of the corruption that's going on there, and even things that's been happening in the Treasurer's office over the last few years. So that would be horrible if he were to win U.S. Senate. So I disagree with Mark Kirk. I've been very outspoken on many of the things I disagree with him on. I agree with him on a lot of things too. He really, there is some fiscal conservative votes that he has that I really strongly agree with. So I do support him clearly over Alexei Janulius, no doubt about it. He is much better than Janulius, no doubt about it. Bill Brady and I are good friends. We've served together in the House and the Senate. We have very similar records. I mean, it's almost across the board where he and I would vote almost always the same on issues, just because we have a common core value system
I'd
of
like to
how we
see
make
it
decisions.
downstairs away from the Chicago.
Yeah,
machine.
I think it'd be helpful. And to me, it's really exciting. It's killing the media that he's doing so well. They try and just hide this, but he's up to 10% because people can't stand Quinn. They know this guy. They know how ineffective he is. And even, his choice now, this lieutenant governor candidate, the only qualification for her was that she'll support his tax legislation. He's so intent on raising our taxes. That's all he wants to do. That is his mission in life, is to raise our taxes.
Well, the Republican Party don't stay together this time. I'm fairly new to the area, and the last election, the infighting and the barbs and the spears that were thrown at one another, you killed yourself.
I know.
You really did.
I hope so.
Nobody
I really
is
do.
perfect.
No.
Nobody has 100% a perfect voting record.
Yep.
You got to take the best of the spoils that are out there, and if we don't, we're going to get the worst of the worst. Yes.
Yeah. Well, again, each person has to make their decision on that, of who they're going to support. I'm never going to tell anybody who they have to support. But what we do, I know that if we're divided, it hurts us, and we get results like we got last week. We get people like Bill Foster, we get people like Brock.
I know people that stay home because of the fighting last year.
I do too. So my commitment is I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be working with other Republicans. I'm going to be fighting Democrats. I'm not fighting other Republicans.
Good.
I'm fighting liberals. I mean, that's really what I'm doing. Is I'm fighting liberals, progressives, people who are trying to destroy.
I almost wore my Glenn Beck t-shirt.
Bill Foster said that he voted for the health care legislation for the small businessman. I started reading that health care bill, and I had to step away. It was too depressing. There's a lot of social engineering in it, a lot of performance bonuses for hospitals. If a certain segments of their population had the same outcomes as other segments of the population, so we're going to look at definitely some changes in care based on who you are, your race, and your age. Are you going to specifically attack him with the health care bill vote?
We will. Yeah, and I think on two fronts. One is just the actual bill, which is horrible for us, it's horrible for business, it's horrible for the quality of our healthcare. It's something that we enjoy. The choices that we can have in healthcare, it really is an attack on so many different levels there. But also the process, and that's what I think is maybe as offensive or maybe more offensive to the people of the 14th Congressional District is how Bill Foster has refused to come out and listen to people, he's hiding. Just yesterday we heard he's got these things called Congressman on the Corner. And he did one in Sugar Grove that we found out about. But let me tell you what happens with these. First of all, no publicity whatsoever. Nothing on his website. They don't tell anybody about it, so it's totally quiet. And then they show up and they've got a back room that he sits in, then they've got a protection room in between, and then they've got his people out in front.